Good day, everyone. This is a new episode of Wise Up Ninja, but it's now Wise Up Africa. So, Eid Mubarak to all the Muslim brother and sister. Today, you know, I have an interesting program. Topic. I have an interesting program. Topic to share with you. But today will be in form of a recap of some of the video that I've released before. Especially, I want to talk about my major focus will be about parenting guidance. So, when you are talking about parents, so the role of parents. Actually, if you follow me, you know that I have really talked about this several. I think 2 years ago. So I discussed about this. And a lot of people want me to bring that particular topic again because when you see our environment, you see that it's like we just have a lot of parents who don't even care about their children. Some of them believe that when you have money, so it's that's all. So it's only money that you can use to, once you can take your children to the shopping mall, so it's only money that you can use to, once you can take your children to the shopping mall, or you give whatever whatever he or she needed. So that's also you have done your best as a parent, but they don't know that it's more than that. And the reason why we need to talk about parenting guidance is that it's something that is very necessary and it's something that's very important. Because if you don't discuss about it now, it will become a big issue to the community, society, and a nation at large. So that is the reason why when we are talking about a parent, it's very important because when we talk about a nation, so there's nothing make a nation to stand. So there's nothing like a nation if there's no human being living in that nation. So and in every country that you see today that is so organized, you see that we need to give kudos to people that live there. We need to give kudos to people that live there because they obey. At least when you are talking about a European country, you see that compared to Africa, you see that European country, they are well organized. So it's not that they are 100%, it's not that they are 100% accurate, but they are well organized in terms of, are you talking about welfare, are you talking about environment, mention it. So we need to give kudos to the people that are living in that environment because, and also the government also do their own part. But the major thing is that we need to give kudos to people that live in that place. So because if the government, there's a law that covers a lot of activity people do, and people don't follow it, it will be a big problem, just like what is happening in our own continent, Africa, Nigeria in particular. You see that we have one of the best constitution. Forget about it. We have one of the best constitution, so that covers every area. So if you commit suicide, if you commit a crime, if you do this, if you do that, there's a law that back it up. There's a law that talks about it, that speak about it. But another major issue is that is people really following those laws? So that is the question. And this needs to start from the leaders. So you can't tell me because you are a president and you commit a crime or you fraud, you steal a lot of you steal a lot of money that belong to many people. So and you see yourself as a president, so therefore people cannot talk to you. Fine. If you are in the power presently, people may not have power to hold you based on the immunity, the way they call it. But what of when the president is no more on seat? So somebody need to ask question about that president. Just come and explain yourself how you spend this money. It's very simple. So just like what the EFCC is doing with Yaya Bello now, the former governor of Kogi State. Just a matter of simple explanation. Come and explain yourself. So the guy is running up and down. The guy is running up and down. So it's already automatically it's so that this guy know about the allegation they put on him. Because if not, what is difficult here for you to come and explain yourself? How you spend the money that belonged to your state that was given to you when you are in power. So this made me to talk about parents. You know, just recent, somebody mentioned that there's a lot of parents in Lekki. There's one particular guy raised alarm that a lot of people who call the same parent in Lekki, they are not take care of their children. I mean, they are not monitored. You know, it's not all about money. Parents, you have a role which is very even more important than money. So because a lot of parents don't know that. Don't allow anything you do to distract you from monitoring your children. And we don't even, some of them don't know that even the children that you 100% try your best to monitor, that children still want to go astray. So that is the lifestyle of children. I don't want to know, either in Europe or any kind of country, even in Saudi Arabia, children are children. So they are there, they believe that what they do is the best. So you as a parent who have experience, who have been in this life before them, so you are the one that's supposed to lead them, give them the good example, lay down the good example so that they can follow. So and that is why it's very important. Just imagine as a parent, you have your children, and your children is giving you problem every day by day. Your matter is not all about you have money, or you are in one position, one particular position. Maybe you are a minister, for example, and you have a children that tarnish your image up and down. As a parent, you won't be happy. So that's why it's very, very, very important to take care of. You see, before we can talk about the spiritual aspect of it, we need to talk about a time to take care of. You see, before we can talk about the spiritual aspect of it, we need to talk about a parent. How many parents are nowadays? This is 21st century, 2024 for that matter. You see, how many parents are there, out there to train their children? Many of them don't have time. So you see the children at age of 1 year, you take it to one particular daycare. You give your children to them because you don't have chance, you want them to take care of your children. Just imagine, you don't know the kind of person they are. Even though they can tell you even at end that they are this, they are that, they have the best surface, this and that. But you are not there. I have seen a daycare whereby that woman will give especially those children that are stubborn, that they used to disturb a lot. The woman will give them the sleeping tablet, and those children will sleep. So when it get to time for the mother to come and pick their children, so this woman will wake them up, bathe for them, clean them, in fact, make up for them. So that when the woman sees this, he will believe that this woman is trying. When the mother sees the child, she will believe that the people they put them that's in charge, that woman is trying her best, not knowing that it's just a matter of pretending. So these are the major reasons why you, as a parent, you need to monitor your children. And when we are talking about parents, it's not only for a woman alone, because some men made that mistake. If you are not going to work, you are around, there's nothing to stop you to assist your wife and monitor your children. Even though you went to, you go to work, when you come back, then definitely you need to attend, ask your children, ask your school today, ask everything, you ask something about them. So as a good parent, when something changes about your children, you should be able to know. You should be able to know, because somebody who is not even your family, just that both of you live in one apartment or environment or in one particular street, some of them they can even easily identify some little character about your children. So what about you that you are the whole so-called parents, biological parents of those children. So because when we talk about parents, the reason why this is so important is that when you give birth to a children and you refuse to take care of that children, you refuse to monitor them, you refuse to give them proper home training, the way they call it, it will become a problem to the society. It will become, because just check it now. You see that many things that some of the crime that we have so-called, in Nigeria today, you see that it's as a result of poverty. That is number one. Then the second one is that it's as a result of lack of parenting guidance. You see, it's as a result of a parent refuse, or some of those children, they don't have home training. Because even though you don't have money, you understand, even though as a child, your parent does not have money. So, that does not make you to involve yourself in a crime. So, even for me, I'm trying to put out some things. I want to point out one particular thing for you to know that poverty is not the major reason why you should involve yourself in crime. Poverty is not the major reason why you should not be a good child. Even we have some of the big men in our community. You may have it in your own street. You see them. Their parents have money. So in terms of money, they don't have problem. But you will be seeing all the children, they may even be the source of weapon. They may be the one that will be supplying, giving them money to buy all those weapons to disturb the community. You may not see them, sometimes you may not see them in the public, but they may be underground supplying money to these people. Just like what is happening concerning insecurity in Nigeria. When you go to North, you see a lot of terrorists. Because it took a lot of time, it took many years for our former president to declare these people as a terrorist. Somebody that can kill. So what else do you want? Somebody that can easily enter one particular place without any quarrel, without any issue, and started shooting people. What do you call them? You see, they are terrorists. So these people now, when a lot of thank God it's out there, you can check it online, on YouTube. Some of our popular TV stations also pick the news, talk about it, that these people have a lot of people who is sponsoring them. Because they said that at least, according to information, that AK-47 is not something you buy with 5,000 naira. So when you look those guys that call themselves terrorists, when you look their parents, they look tattered. They look like somebody who has not even eaten for the past 1 year. So you'll be wondering that all the money they collected, what are they using it for? So that's why it means that somebody is out there, somebody is underground supporting them. So, but well-trained children who now apply the wisdom of God, who submit in or herself to God, it will be very difficult to confuse them. Because these people they took advantage of those people because some of them don't have home training. Just like you see, go to street, you see a lot of children at the age of, let me say, 7 years. Some of them, the parents release them to society, looking for what to eat. Imagine 7 years old. Some of the children will leave home, parents will not even ask about them. At least before you can allow your children to maybe follow friends, maybe from at least, let me say 20 upward. Because at that time, and at least anything you give to that children from the beginning, automatically, if something is not wrong, then that should be in your child's brain. That particular the training should sink into your child's brain at that stage. But 15 years old, 13 years, 8 years, all those kind of age, they should be under your care. Training them, giving them lecture. You see, if you train your children very well, even when they grow, they will still be afraid of you. thinking, before they do something, they will be thinking about their father or mother, or probably the two parents, thinking about what they will say. So, but because nowadays, those children, they don't, some of them even, they behave as if, they behave like somebody who don't even have family. That's why you see a young lady, something God given to you, young lady that have a beautiful shape, that they have a beautiful screen, that have a small screen. You see them on social media twerking, shaking bum bum. They call them judiciary, the shaking bum bum, just to trend on social media. Now, the question we need to ask ourselves is that, is it only by shaking bum bum you can, is it the only way for you to trend on social media? There's a lot of things to do. If you have talent, maybe you can teach people concerning education. Maybe you can, if in mathematics you're good at, you go online, you can even do that. Before you know, people will start having interest. But because a lot of people, what they want, that's what they want. When you started twerking on social media now, I bet you, before 6 months, you see your platform started growing automatically without promoting it. So you see that is what people want. Now, who are the people that want this? Is it not your children? It is still your children, and this is what we are talking about. In a normal country, that's why when you go to some country, they regulate social media. Not for anything, they just regulate it. Because those, as at least somebody who is older, like let me say 25 years upward, that kind of child, you can decide on what he or she wants. At that stage, you believe that the type of that person is supposed to have the sense of reasoning, should know the time to do things without affecting others. And that's why you see some parents, they even would sit at home comfortably in the front of their children at the age of 2, 3 years, 5 years, watching nonsense film. So even our so-called Nollywood industry, government need to regulate them. There are some movies, forget about PG-13 or whatever they call it. That's not what you are talking about. They should regulate them. There are some movies they should not even allow, or even not even allow anybody to produce that kind of movie in our society. There's some country they allow that, but not in our own. So they need to regulate them. Because nowadays, if you don't give your children training, before you know, that's why a lot of people said, okay, it's even good to give your training about, to give your children training concerning sex education. It's even good. Because when you explain to them, you let them know that the reason, this is it, this is this, then the reason why they don't need this at this time is so time. It's so reason. So you explain to them. So immediately somebody bring that kind of things to them, they are already aware. So that you can't just mislead them because they are already aware of this. But just for example, somebody that is seeing something for the first time, and you that you are trying to pass a message to the person, you want to mislead that kind of person. So it's very easy for you because the person is seeing that particular thing for the first time. So these are the reasons. So it means as a parent, when you come back, you don't release your children to anybody. In fact, the best way for you, if your children is going to university, I will even prefer that you should find a university, if possible, if it's part-time, you make sure, try your best, that children is going to university within your vicinity, so that you can easily, when they go to university, they came back, they return home, so that both of you meet. You can do this for the children to grow enough, so that for them to know the right for the left, for them to know the time. There's a time. Nobody is talking that, okay, sex. Every woman, because there's no way you can do with sex, because these are the major reasons. These are without saying some of we like this, we can't be alive. So, but there's a process, how to do this. It's not something you export in the public. It's not something that you guys, the way people are doing now, you see, go to social media, you see your young lady shaking bonbon, somebody will be holding bonbon like this. See, all those kind of things should stop. So, and what causes it? It's a lack of For you to train on social media, there's a lot of things to do. If you have talent, maybe you can teach people concerning education. Maybe you can, if in mathematics you're good at, you go online, you can even do that. Before you know, people will start having interest. But because a lot of people, what they want, that's what they want. When you started working on social media now, I bet you, before 6 months, you see your platform started growing automatically without promoting it. So you see that is what people want. Now, who are the people that want this? Is it not your children? It is still your children, and this is what we are talking about. In a normal country, that's why when you go to some country, they regulate social media. Not for anything, they just regulate it because those, as at least somebody who is older, like let me say 25 years upward, that kind of child, you can decide on what he or she wants. At that stage, you believe that the type of that person is supposed to have the sense of reasoning, should know the time to do things without affecting others. And that's why you see some parents, even they sit at home comfortably in the front of their children at the age of 2, 3 years, 5 years, watching nonsense film. So even our so-called Nollywood industry, government need to regulate them. There are some movies, forget about PG-13 or whatever they call it. That is not what we are talking about. They should regulate them. There are some movies they should not even allow, or even not even allow anybody to produce that kind of movie in our society. There's some country they allow that, but not in our own. So they need to regulate them, because nowadays, if you don't give your children training, before you know, that's why a lot of people said, okay, it's even good to give your training about, to give your children training concerning sex education. It's even good, because when you explain to them, you let them know that the reason, this is it, this is this, then the reason why they don't need this at this time is so time. It's so reason. So you explain to them. So immediately somebody bring that kind of things to them, they are already aware. So that you can't just mislead them, because they are already aware of this. But just for example, somebody that is seeing something for the first time, and you that you are trying to pass a message to the person, you want to mislead that kind of person. So it's very easy for you, because the person is seeing that particular thing for the first time. So these are the reasons. So means, as a parent, when you come back, you don't release your children to anybody. In fact, the best way for you, if your children is going to university, I will even prefer that you should find a university, if possible. If it's part-time, you make sure, try your best that children is going to university within your vicinity, so that you can easily, when they go to university, they came back, they return home, so that both of you meet. You can do this for the children to grow enough, so that for them to know the right for the left, for them to know the time. There's a time. Nobody is talking that, okay, sex. Every woman, because there's no way you can do with sex, because these are the major reasons. These are without saying some of we like this, we can't be alive. So, but there's a process, there's how to do this. It's not something you export in the public. It's not something that you guys, the way people are doing now, you see, go to social media, you see your young lady shaking bonbon, somebody will be holding bonbon like this. See, all those kind of things should stop. So, and what causes it? It's a lack of home training. Because somebody who is thinking that somebody who know me, or probably my parents will be watching this, will not ever, will never ever, that kind of person will not try this kind of mess. So, but nowadays, those children, because lack of home training, imagine somebody who is just at the age of 20 years, just like watching somebody tell me, a young guy at the age of 20 years, don't give birth to 3 children with different mother. Imagine 20 years. So probably automatically, if we want to look at in another angle, you see that kind of guys probably maybe he impregnates somebody at the age of 15 years. See it? So, and this is what is going on in our community. And if we are not careful enough, you see what is happening today, insecurity that we are seeing today, it will be a church play compared to what likely to happen. Because it's a form of shape. In Lagos State, as big as exposure, the way Lagos State take exposed, when you are talking about across all Nigeria, when you are talking about state that are so exposed, that so a state that, in fact, it's not supposed to be Lagos. Just recent, yesterday, I heard that cholera killed a lot of people in Lagos. So, probably one of the major reasons why this cholera kill people in this 2024 will be poverty. Because if they don't have access to good water, food, and so on and so forth, and the environment is not okay. So, what do you think? A lot of people say it's not the poverty, it's poverty. And who is causing it? It's government. Because normal, when you check that environment where these people live, on normal ground, they are not supposed to live in that environment. But not the person will get money go rent house for even as local as some rural area. Not the person will get money. That's why some people they cannot even afford. They don't have money to even afford rent house. That's why some of them they will just make some little chaos before you know they will start sleeping there. And that environment is not good enough. Now as a government, this is where government come in. You know, in a country we cannot be equal. That is certain. So there's nothing bad if government creates build a little house that these people can easily afford. Imagine you chase people out of a market because they are not practicing good idea. Fine, it's good, but then you chase them out, you demolish those areas and you build another good looking shop there. Then you place about 1 million, 2 million for rentage. Yearly. Now tell me, somebody who is selling pepper, that all the pepper that is selling is the worth is just like 50,000. How come that? Tell me now, it's not possible for that kind of person to rent that shop. So when government want to help people, you need to make things inaffordable. You can even do 2 types or 3 types so that those ones that cannot afford millions, they can afford thousands. Do you understand? So these are the major little responsibility of government, so that when they are doing this, automatically community, society will be feeling the impact. It's not by lining up people and started sharing money for them, then recording them and posting on social media that these people are assisting. That is not a way to go. A lot of people are languishing in the poverty. A lot of people are struggling to even feed themselves. Almost everything we buy now, this is 2024, June. Almost everything we buy, it's cost. Times 3, double. So, you know that you don't have money, you are just managing yourself, then you should be able to train your children. If somebody who have money still find it difficult, facing a lot of challenges, what of you that don't have money? If you don't have money, then you should have a good watch. You should know how to train your children. At least, our former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, based on history, his family is not come out from the rich family. Everyone knows that. In fact, most of our leaders that you have now, how many of them have a good background? Not by character I'm talking about, but in terms of financial. How many of them? Most of them is struggling, their parents are struggling, but thank God they find themselves in a bigger position. Then that is that kind of people. That's the people that I expect to know what it takes to be a poor person, what it takes for people to suffer. Then they should have that feeling. But unfortunately, none of them have that. Because if you have that, the 150 million Jews they bought for all of them, I expect them to say, okay, let us take that 50 million and use it to buy vehicle. Then the remaining 100 100, then we should keep it and use it for another project. But how many of them? Nobody. So no. Now, the point that I'm raising is that you as a parent, you need to take care of your children, focusing on them. Don't put your children, depend your children on someone. Don't put your children on someone. Don't say, because I have one person who is my house help, so therefore I leave my children. My brother, my sister, don't do that. Monitor your children. Monitor your children. It's even better for you to have somebody who relates to you, to look out for your children. And if somebody that you have money, you can quit that job, then focusing on business so that your children can be with you. A parent, those days, our grandmothers, they suffering a lot, all because they want to take care of their children. Even we have seen a lot of parents that quit their job because they want to take care of children. And nowadays they are enjoying it because those children, they have time to train them, and those children also give back to them. A parent, you have a lot of role to